All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Beers by the Ivy. We got my buddy Jake back with us, talking sports again, of course. The NFL schedule, we're going to go through all the games, might even talk about some baseball at the end. But yeah, appreciate everyone joining. Please consider subscribing if you like the content. We're going to keep it up and keep it going. But yeah, really enjoying the process so far. Jake, thanks for coming back, man.
Awesome. Yeah, always, man. Pretty good Sunday again.
Yeah.
Started off pretty early, Jags and Bears. Kind of at first, like, this kind of felt like it was going to be a trap game for the Bears in the beginning. Kind of thought that Eberflus was trying to do more than what he needed to. It was every single play was a run. It was run, 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 and they weren't going a whole lot. I think the first like two drives of the game were both three and outs, and it was like just three design run plays, just back to back to back. Um, they open it up after that, and then obviously check the scoreboard. Bears blew the doors off the Jags. Kind of makes the Colts losing last week look even worse
I
after
know it does. I
how
know.
bad, but it is what it is. That's the nature of the NFL.
Yeah, that is true. But Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns, welcome out party for him. Swift also 91 yards, 1 touchdown. They're actually looking like a pretty balanced offense and balanced team right now, which is good for the NFL if Chicago's good. But
Question:
yeah,
Do you think the Jaguars end up firing Doug Peterson?
yes,
I wouldn't say this week since they're playing
next
in London
week.
next week,
Next week.
but like if they lose next week too,
Yeah, because the Jets already fired Saleh, so that they're not going to be the first to fire.
yeah,
And I talked about this like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. If they lose both games in London, he's done.
yeah.
He's done.
I mean, at that point they'll be one and I think one and six or one and seven, and last place in the AFC South, which is for the honestly is a weak division. Um,
The weakest, it's been the weakest division.
it's a fucking weak division outside of the Texans. So if there's any chance of squeaking into a wild card game in the AFC, your best shot's going to be in the AFC South.
Yep, no, I agree. But yeah, I mean, so.
Tell them to stay in fucking London. Don't even get on the team plane.
I don't know. If I got fired from that, I would just take my pay. I'd probably stay in London.
I mean, I read something the other day that said Rob Saleh is getting paid like 20,000 a day right now.
I love it. Well, it's
Uh,
amazing.
being an NFL head coach that gets fired is the best job in America.
I was thinking too. I literally was watching the old Lions coach. He's a defensive coordinator for somebody. This is a while back, and I
Which
think it.
Jim Caldwell?
No, no, someone else. It was before Caldwell, and I saw this guy on the sidelines, and I was just like, that might be the best gig. You become a head coach, you get fired, you get paid, and then you just go become an assistant, and you don't have to deal with. You just do football.
Yeah.
Like what a good gig that is, you know?
Don't get the glitz and glamour associated with it, but I mean, shit, still in the game and you're
Yeah,
making
but you kind of got the itch
money.
of like, okay, now I've been a head coach. Now I can just chill, play football, or coach
Yeah.
football. All right, let's just go through the game slot. So Bears, Jags, good win by the Bears. Shout out the Bears fans. We got a lot of those with Bears by the Ivy being a lot of Cubs themed stuff. Texans, Patriots, Texans 41-21. Texans back on their roadmap of being a top team. Patriots, I still felt like Drake May had a few good throws and it was good to see
Yeah.
him out there. So,
That's the silver lining for Patriots fans. Drake made some pretty intelligent plays throughout the game. He had some throws that were just like precision point, laser accuracy. But I mean, it's you're playing against the Texans. They're considered one of the AFC favorites coming out going to the Super Bowl. So you're not going to be able to compete against them like that, especially with the weapons he has. Because honestly, this might be some of the weakest like Patriots wide receiving core that I've seen in a long time. I don't think they really did anything in the offseason to help improve that. And
no,
then
they didn't.
so
Terrible. But yeah, Drake May, 243, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks.
yep.
Not bad. And then, of course, CJ Stroud, 192, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Just relatively an efficient game. But yeah, Joe Mixon back, 13 carries, 102 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, they were way more productive on the ground that game than I thought they would be. Mixon looked really good today. So, I mean, Texans are scary, man.
I
5-1
know.
for a reason.
I know. We always talk about this. Like, having CJ in the division just sucks. But I like him, though. Like, he's a guy I root for.
Yeah.
All right, next game, Baltimore versus Washington. This game going in the week, I was just curious about because I've been asking you, like, is Washington for real? They play one of the best teams in the league, Ravens, 30-23. Jaden Daniels, 269, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Lamar Jackson, 323, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Derrick Henry, 24 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, though, carried the ball more than he normally does, 11 carries, 40 yards.
I mean, that's what's scary about the Ravens, is just like the ways they can beat you. Uh, if it's not their quarterback running, you have to deal with their defensive end who plays running back, and he's just a tank when he gets moving downhill. Commanders really hung in there,
Yeah,
23.
they did.
It's a really close game, especially in Baltimore.
Yeah,
Buy
I think
stock on the Commanders now or leave it. I mean, shit, the way I
I'm
look at
buying.
it, especially after watching the Cowboys get the doors blown off them at home,
I know.
uh,
I think
NFC
they're
East is up for grabs.
I think the Commanders will win the division as long as, Daniels doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, unless they have some crazy regression or a lot of like defensive injuries, and because I mean their defense kind of sucks, but their offense is just blowing people out right now. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, they got Austin Eckler back this game. 9 carries, 21 yards, but obviously he's from the backfield too, or he catches passes, four receptions, 47 yards.
Big
So
time.
yeah,
Terry
look like
McLaurin looked good.
yeah, dude, another Ohio State guy, right?
Yep,
But yeah, so I'm thinking Washington's gonna win the division, and I think that was a good prove it game to them. Like we talk about, there's good losses and there's bad losses. That's a good loss.
that's an admirable loss. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
like you feel kind of good, like hey, we just played one of the best teams and we competed, and that team's young, so they're gonna mature, and theoretically they should be better, come the winter months.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from them so far. I don't really think that the Eagles are what they have been in the past. Um,
Well, that's the
can they
next
get
game
it
I got.
going? Can they get it going down the stretch? Sure, absolutely. They have the weapons for it, especially with Saquon. But I mean, you only beat the Browns 20-16 today. It was a
Well,
4 point game. It was close the whole entire thing. Given I think there's a special teams touchdown. I'm thinking there for the Browns. Yeah, blocked field goal. Roddy McLeod takes it back for 50 yards. So, um, I mean, it is what it is. It's a still a close game. That's not what you want to see, especially at home. You don't want to see that close of a game against what I consider a bottom feeder team in the AFC.
exactly, and there's big plays too by the Eagles. I mean, AJ Brown had like a giant play too,
Oh, massive.
and
That was a big, like 50-yard catch and run, wasn't it?
right, and when you have big plays, you want to win big. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to win small. But yeah, Cleveland hilarious somehow. Like every week, somehow that there's one score game for a team that shouldn't even be close to a one score game.
Did I see was Jameis Winston playing in that game?
I don't know. He's not on the stat sheet. Just Deshaun
Okay.
Watson, 168, no touchdowns, no picks.
I couldn't tell because he was on my smaller or that game was on my smaller screen when I had it pulled up for a little bit. But
I mean, I think he's a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson, but I think
oh,
they're
hands down.
dealing with it's I don't know if you saw Baker Mayfield's stat line. I think he had like 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. Like that is a Jameis Winston stat line.
When today?
Yeah,
I
I'm pretty
didn't
sure.
see that. Every time I looked over red zone, that game was on, but I didn't see like the entirety of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that like maybe it's just Bucks quarterbacks.
No, Tom Brady never did it.
Yeah, well,
So,
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, so yeah, Eagles for real. We don't know yet. Browns, they're probably gonna pick first in the
and
NFL
yeah, it wouldn't
draft.
surprise me if they're a top five pick at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think that's almost like a shoe-in. I'm not a gambling guy, but if I did, I would be thinking that's got to be something to think about. All right, Packers Cardinals. This game, it was a blowout to begin with, and then the Cardinals kind of came back a little bit, and then the Green Bay just like hit the gas and finished them 34-13.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely saw Green Bay winning this. I kind of thought that Arizona would keep it a little bit closer, just from what I've seen in their offense from the past couple weeks. That's what it is. Sometimes they get out to a 24-0 lead, you kind of force your offense to be one-dimensional. At that point, it's really easy for the defense, unless you're the Colts, because for some reason they can't fucking figure out pressure and how to blitz and when to blitz in the NFL. But it really makes the job easy for a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and I think a couple another storylines here is Jordan Love, solid game, 258, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. I think he's back on track coming from his injury. Ran the ball.
That's
Man, they had
insane.
so many different guys ran the ball for Green Bay, and also Marvin Harrison going out with a concussion for Cardinals.
Yeah, that was a big loss for you could see how much he was affecting their offense like throughout the season. And
Yeah,
then just from when he left, you could see I was like took the air out of the Cardinals.
100%. I mean, he was like that at Ohio State. Like when Ohio State lost him in the whatever game they played, Clemson or Georgia, what it was, you could just see like the It changes the way the defense performs when or acts when you have a top receiver,
Oh, without a doubt.
right? They're gonna essentially play half the field's gonna be covering one guy.
Yep.
All right, next game, Bucks Saints. This was an absolute rout, 51-27. A lot of scoring in this game, but it never was that close.
No,
Bucks, man, holy shit. Some weeks they look great. Some weeks they look like the best team in the National Football League, and then other weeks they just look subpar.
there's even some of the games that they win, they don't even look particularly good. You're playing against Spencer Rattler, who's making his debut. Dude's a rookie. So, and then he goes 22 for 40 with two picks. I mean, stat line's not phenomenal, but the math doesn't add up to me when you see a quarterback. And then the running back Camaro only went for 40 on the ground. So where the fuck are the 27 points coming from?
I
Um,
don't know.
you kind of look at,
Field
Baker
goals.
Mayfield, three picks, which that hurts. And then just the ability to put those field goals in, I guess, but still.
I
Uh,
mean, maybe I watched Peyton Manning too much in my life, but I'm fine with picks in the right situations.
Yeah, there's definitely like the right situation for it.
Like,
If you're throwing a long ball, for example, on, third down, you're throwing it to like the five and they get a pick on the five and you're like, midfield, whatever. Like I don't
yeah,
really count that as a full on pick.
I same. So like when I see picks, it's like there's like the story to tell. What kinds of interceptions?
Yeah.
They
There's
like,
that shit that Dak was doing where he's throwing him in the end zone and
oh my God, that was terrible. Tom,
that was yeah, that set the whole entire game down on a downward spiral for Dallas.
yeah, they look terrible. We gotta talk about them in a second. Let's keep going down the list though. All
Yep.
right, game of the week. Colts Titans. Colts win 2017. Joe Flacco. Hey, what was the story with like Richardson? Because I thought he was playing.
My
Then
guess is that yeah, he was supposed to be playing. My guess, because I watched the post game interview with Shane Steichen, he said that that decision was made kind of towards the end of the week that was going to happen. My guess is that he doesn't come out and openly say it early in the week, so the Titans defense can officially game plan for it. Because game planning for Anthony Richardson versus game planning for Joe Flacco, two completely different fucking elements. Um, Joe Flacco is a first drive of the game scripted like he's a god.
oh, he is.
That like the ad hoc drives after that, the dude is so fucking suspect. I did not feel at ease at any point, like from the time after that first drive in the first up until like shit the fourth quarter. To be honest, that felt like a game we were about to lose and we were about to blow. Honestly, we got fucking lucky. Uh, there was a defensive, I think it was a defensive pass interference on Jalen Jones that did not get called. And like even the announcers were like highlighting it. They're like, yeah, I don't know how they missed that one. We got bailed out on that. But I mean, 2017 divisional win. You need that on the road. A lot of fucking injuries they're dealing with right now. I think that Ryan Kelly, this is going to be his last season playing for the Colts. If he retires, then good on him. Glad he was at Colts his whole career. If he goes to play somewhere else, then whatever. But the injury history that he has right now, and then Tanner Bortolini, his backup, looks phenomenal when he plays. There's honestly no even real reason to like keep on playing him with the way Tanner Bortolini's been playing.
What do you think? What do you think about JT always being hurt?
He it's tough. I feel like he's got a lot of the CMC thing where I mean, CMC's injuries when he was with the Panthers came from him touching the ball on like 80% of the offensive snaps. JT is a high usage back and he touches the ball a lot. What I think would really help balance them out is if they kept on damn, what's that kid's name that was playing today? Number 30. I think his name was like 31 was his number. Um,
Yeah, Goodson.
yeah, Goodson. That's the guy that choked that catch away against the Texans at the end of the season last season.
Oh, it was really?
Um, Yeah, I'm like 99% sure. Uh, but if they could like kind of incorporate him as kind of a more speed back, because his takeoff speed is insane. There was some of the holes that he would hit where he would just like he was gone, but then like stuck up at the 10. If they could
Yeah.
find a way to balance both those out, I mean, I just got so jealous watching like the Lions have like just two insanely talented backs to like each drive someone else is in, and it kind of helps like even the load so they're not one's carrying.
Yeah, because the season's so long these days, and I mean, just so many
Yep.
hits. But yeah, seeing JT on the sideline like at least 5 games a season is like it's like classic Bob Sanders. Remember Bob would only play like six, seven,
Yeah,
8 games, and he's like our leader on defense. Well, him and Gary Brackett maybe. Actually,
yeah,
there's a lot of good Colts leader defense guys back then, but nonetheless, um, yeah, that's tough to see. But Flacco with another win, I mean, Flacco's the kind of quarterback who can always get you 2 wins a season, but he isn't made to be there for like the long term.
yeah,
That's what we're dealing with here. But I still think he's a better quarterback than Richardson currently.
yeah. I think that right now he's going to be more efficient. I don't I don't know. It's weird. I was like kind of bored watching the game earlier. Like I don't
Yeah,
know why the game is just so fucking boring when he's in.
yeah.
Um,
No, that is true. Like
which is like a weird thing because I've been for the for a while now, even with Minshew, like Minshew was kind of the same way where he had to stay in the pocket, but he would get out of the pocket
oh,
and
he's
complete
an
plays.
entertainer. He's an entertainer. I
Yeah,
I
like
got one for you. When Richardson's in the game, it feels like the Pacers of Halliburton and those guys. Like they run so
oh
quick. And it's just like
yeah,
unique. It's like poetry in motion. With Richardson, you kind of have some of that feel. Now you don't have as good as like technique in terms of football, like football skill, I should say. But in terms of like raw athleticism, it's nuts.
yeah, without a doubt. Like sometimes the camera will pan and he like didn't even throw the ball, and then he's taking off like and he's 10 yards down by the time the camera comes back. I mean,
Yeah,
just shit like that. I don't know. I want Richardson to come back and I want him to play, but I want him to be
he's got
healthy.
to play.
Same with JT. I want JT to be healthy when he comes back. I don't want to rush him back because honestly, unless something drastic changes with the defense, this fucking team's not going anywhere.
Yeah, the team's not going anywhere, but at the same time, he's on my fantasy team, so I need him out there. But
I feel
nonetheless, yeah, the Colts
that.
got to, and Colts also got to fix the fact that they let running backs run right down the middle for like 15 yards all the time.
Oh yeah, and part of that is having to force Buckner out. That dude is the heart and soul of the defense right now. Well, him and Zaire Franklin kind of like share that load, but having our all-pro defensive tackle out definitely doesn't fucking help.
I love how if the Colts would have lost, you would have been on here. Gus Bradley,
Oh no,
bring
I was
bring
saying it during the game.
bring in Robert Saleh real quick for us.
Dude, I said that earlier this week. I said
Bring in Robert
Colts
Saleh. Why
need to
not?
fucking fire Gus Bradley,
Get Robert Saleh.
hire Robert Saleh. Given he's going to run a different scheme, he's going to take us out of the zone. But honestly, fucking zone does not work in this age of the NFL. Players are too fucking fast. More often than not, you're going to be playing against a quarterback who can beat you on his legs. Like zone does not fucking work anymore. You can play it every now and then, but don't play zone exclusively on defense in this league. It doesn't work. That Tampa 2 shit has got to fucking go.
Yeah, it's not Madden. I mean, the bottom line is you have to have a defense like the offense these days. Like I did Chiefs tape this week
Yep.
on YouTube, and the amount of formations that that team runs is unbelievable. There's different looks. It's incredible, and you need the same thing for defenses.
Yep. And you have to fucking blitz. You have to blitz quarterbacks. We're giving fucking Will Levis time to throw in the pocket. He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
I
Blitz
know,
him.
dude. I heard Mel Kiper loves like Will Levis, and he's like, if the Titans have a top 5 pick, they have to draft QB. And he's like, well, he needs another year. He's only started 13 games. I'm like, dude, I can tell when the first 5 starts
Yeah,
if
he's not.
someone's gonna be good or not.
His football IQ just isn't there.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. I mean, I honestly worry about that with Richardson too. Like his ability to read the defense like in real time as everyone's moving around.
Yeah, I'll be a lot more
That's why he needs reps.
optimistic about our guy than I will be for somebody else. Like, there's a
Yeah.
sense of realism that I won't have with Richardson that I will have with Levis because like I have no bias. Actually, I fucking hate the Titans, so I kind of do have a bias. But
Their jerseys suck. I'm sorry. Like
just such a fucking ugly uniform.
they need to get a new team, new team name or something. Like I just
Yeah,
their colors are just boring. That is the one of
they
the
need to go back to being. They need to be the Tennessee Oilers and bring back the
blue.
throwback like Oilers uniform, baby blue.
Yeah.
Actually, what I think would be really cool, like idea, would be for them to play the Texans once a year and make it like almost like a college, like an Oaken Bucket Bowl type game.
Yeah.
Where, like if you win, you get to take these jerseys for the next year and like battle for the jerseys since those two cities have that going back and forth with each other. That'd
Yeah,
be kind of cool.
that would be cool. Like there's not really like this they don't do that in the NFL, but like in college obviously they do. But yeah, that would be interesting to see. Yeah, but
Yeah.
they need to do something because that Titans, like, they just suck and their jerseys suck and everything about it. The name sucks. They're getting a
Yeah,
new
they
stadium, but like,
gotta do something. Black helmets, maybe. I don't know.
yeah. Did you see the Carolinas uniforms today?
Yeah, I had a bet on that game, so I was watching that.
Yeah.
I had
It was,
that and then the Dallas Cowgirls on, watching them get blown out.
yeah, Carolina's always had pretty cool uniforms. So those black helmets, I thought it was honestly too much black on there because they had like black jerseys ish. But I
Yeah,
don't know, it's black out. It was pretty cool. It's good
yeah,
to mix it up.
it looked
Colt,
really good when they were taking that fat ass L.
yeah. Well, they're terrible. But that's the funny thing about the Colts. The Colts they've tried third jerseys like a bajillion times, and there's only been one in the history of my life where I'm like, oh, that one's cool.
Yeah, I like the Indiana Knights jersey that they had. I think it was last year's when they came out with it.
Yeah, that was the one jersey where I was like walking at Aldi, it was just like supermarket, and I saw a guy with that. I go, oh, that's a cool jersey. Like,
Yeah.
is that the new like third jersey? He goes, yeah. I was like, yeah, that's a blue and white, not giving us much choices here.
No, we're very classic. They're like, oh, we released new jerseys this year, and it's like just the fucking logo, like the emblem on like the NFL shield changes positioning a little bit. I'm like, it's the same fucking jerseys
It's the
last
same
year.
jersey, dude. It's like Penn State, same jersey every
All
year,
right. I get a new
forever.
one every year. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right, 23 or Chargers 23 beating the Broncos 16. Broncos came back. Bo Nix came back and pretty good leadership on his side, scoring a couple touchdowns late. He's also my fantasy team, so hopefully he keeps doing that. But I think Justin Herbert came back in full swing. Well, actually, not really. 237, had a few big throws, only one touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 25 carries, 96 yards, one touchdown. But I think that's, you know,
Did they
just
ever say what happened to Harbaugh?
no. Did he not come back in the game at all?
I don't know if he did or not.
Yeah, I saw the early window was or the early shot before the game was that he went to the blue tent himself.
Yeah, well, I saw him go in, and I had that on like the bottom corner screen on the NFL ticket pulled up, so like I didn't have the audio on that game.
Yeah, I think he did come back. I think he did come back because he did a post press conference interview. But probably not a game a lot of the nation was watching unless you're just watching Red Zone, but nonetheless.
That's a fandom game. If you're not either a fan of the Chargers or the Broncos, or unless you're like a gambling degenerate, you probably didn't have that game on.
Yeah, I would say the Chargers are the team that have always had like the coolest jerseys, or at least up there for the ability to have the coolest jerseys.
Ooh, yeah, their throwback powder blue,
Yeah.
the bolts on the shoulders, those are sick.
Dude, there was no better touchdown celebration than LaDainian Tomlinson's like like touching his head and flipping the ball.
I don't know. I liked Marshawn Lynch's "Hold My Dick" when he was jumping over
All right,
people.
well, yeah, yeah, I guess so. But I'm just saying, like that back in the day was just elite, and I don't know why people don't do that. Like, why don't people have the same touchdown celebration every time? It's marketing. It just makes sense to me, at least.
Yeah, it's like a slogan.
Yeah, it is. It is like LT, boom, you
Hmm.
know, sick. All right, another barn burner. Steelers Raiders 32-13. Raiders are absolutely terrible, especially with a backup quarterback, but Justin Fields made a few good throws, but still only threw for 140 yards, 145 yards, no touchdowns. Najee Harry finally got going, 14 carries, 106 yards, one touchdown. What do you think
What's
about the
going on
Steelers?
with Devontae Adams? I saw Adam Schefter posted something at like midnight last night saying that Devontae Adams likely isn't getting traded now. Why in the
Well, he didn't
fuck
play.
are the Raiders not?
He didn't play, right?
No, he didn't play.
Yeah,
Why are they
Buck.
not moving him?
It can't be that hard to move him. Like, I mean, Jesus. Like, even if you moved him for, uh, a second rounder,
The only way I'm seeing that they're having a problem moving him is from the financial side.
30
Maybe
million.
people don't want to give him that much money because he's like 32 years old, something like that. Cool, I get that.
Why would honestly these receivers coming out of school, there's a couple of them every year. Why wouldn't you just get one of the young guys?
Yeah.
Why would you pay a guy who's like, what is he? Is he 32 already or is he 30? I don't know. But like he's $30 million, I think, next year.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to pay an old receiver, given I do think that when he's playing, he's one of the best in the league.
Do you know
But
like in hockey this is a thing, but can you eat cap for another team if you make a trade in the NFL?
yes,
So like how many millions of dollars would you trade to get a first rounder for him? Or
it
keep,
all
sorry.
depends. It all depends on like when he gets traded, how much is left. I think my understanding of it is this like a percentage breakdown,
Hmm.
week to week. So like each week as it progresses, he's owed less and less. So it costs less for people to like acquire him pretty much.
Well, I'm even talking about the future. Let's say like his salary next year is $30 million. Would you eat 5 million next year on a dead cap to get a first rounder?
If I can, absolutely. Should I do it for a
Yes.
second rounder?
So I don't even know if you'll need to do this for a second rounder. I feel like second rounder. I think the first rounder is more of the situation. But here's the thing too. Everyone kept saying like, why don't the Chiefs do it? Because the Chiefs don't need them. Like the Chiefs are so unique in their offensive sets, and like their leadership of that team is so good, and their players and team is so intelligent. They just get open naturally with the lack of athleticism.
Yeah, I mean,
It,
Mahomes is having a horrible fucking year, and he's an MVP favorite, and the Chiefs are undefeated. I don't even know what to say at this point.
I'm telling you, dude. I did the tape last week of the Chiefs. Check it on my YouTube, guys. Patrick Mahomes is fucking unbelievable. I knew he was good. Like I knew he was good. I watched him on TV, but till I got under the hood and really watched him play quarterback from like the behind the line angle, he's unbelievable. And the play calls are unbelievable. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of
Oh,
the most creative head coaches in the league right now,
I,
and then
I
let
had
him
a
get Xavier Worthy.
I had a guy comment and he said, "Yeah, but they get all the calls." And I was like, "Yeah, they do get all the calls. They're
They
cheap."
do every single
I
fucking
mean,
questionable call, every call they need, they get it. I don't understand it. And when you think they're dead, they get a fucking call.
they get a call. They're always getting calls. All right.
I can't buy into it. It's Taylor Swift, man.
It is. It's nonsense conspiracy. Here we go. All right. Lions Cowboys route. Lions 47 to 9. 8 years ago, this would have been a joke. Lions 47 to 9. The Cowboys, this is why I went on that giant rant, guys, before the season. You cannot pay Dak Prescott $60 million. You
Nope.
can't do it. You pay him 40 million, you take the extra 20, you build the offensive line, you get some bells and whistles.
I mean, this beatdown was so bad that the Cowboys put Cooper Rush in with 10 minutes left to go in the fourth. Like, this wasn't even fucking close. When he was in, he did not look sharp. The offense couldn't get anything going, and when they did, Dak would throw a pick in the end zone. The Lions were up so fucking big that they were throwing double flea flickers to fucking linemen and trying to
That
score.
that was bullshit. That should have been a touchdown.
Yeah, that should have been a touchdown. That ineligible man downfield call was fucking whack, and like
Like
everybody knew it. The announcers knew it.
Like, how do you call that when Penny Sewell gets a yeah hook and ladder and
Yeah,
scores a touchdown? Like your offensive tackle scored a freaking touchdown, and they tried throwing to the other tackle like a couple plays
Taylor
before.
Decker. Yep.
Yeah, so yeah,
They just seemed determined to get a lineman to score that game, and it didn't
just
happen. But maybe that's homage to last year when they felt they got robbed of that call. But whatever the situation was, absolute fucking beatdown. At first, I turned the game on. I was like, I mean, I could have really honestly seen this like coming. And then I saw the game was in Dallas, and I was like, holy shit, they're blowing Dallas out like this, and Dallas is fucking nuts.
yeah. Just look at the stat line of the Lions, right? Jared Goff 315, 3 touchdowns, no picks. But I think the story is also the run game, like you said earlier in the pod. Montgomery,
Two
12
really dominant
carries,
backs.
80 yards in 12 carries. That's 6.7 average, 2 touchdowns. And then Gibbs, 12 carries, 63 yards. That's still 5.3. The
Yeah.
run game, the offensive line, I mean, woohoo.
Oh,
Uh,
Aiden
I-
Hutchinson just underwent surgery for a broken tibia.
okay, so that was the big news in the
Yeah,
downfall, or not the
prayers up for
downfall, but the
Aiden
negative.
Hutchinson. That sucks. That's tough.
So I don't even know. Is that like do you know like how bad of like, is that like a year, whole year recovery type thing, or is that more than that?
For some positions, it wouldn't even surprise me if he doesn't come back.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah. I mean, if you they didn't even show it. I didn't see it in real time. I watched somebody had it posted on Facebook, and you could see his leg completely wrap around another dude's legs, like it fucking snapped it in half. Uh, Disgusting injury. Wish him the best. Hope he recovers, but there's no telling if he's going to play again right now.
Yeah, for any Lions fans out there, I did break down his tape, and let me tell you, I mean, he's unbelievable.
Hmm.
Like had every single move you can ever have as a defensive end, and he does them back to back to back. I've never seen an NFL. DN gets so close to the quarterback so many times in one game. It was freaking awesome. But yeah, total that's a gut punch for the Lions and the Lions fans, that's for sure.
Do you think that the Lions make a move for a pass rusher, like kind of close to the deadline? Like, can you imagine them going out and getting like Max Crosby or something if the Raiders say, fuck it, we're gonna shelf everybody?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I would see them more getting like a low key guy. Like remember when the Patriots got like James Harrison
Yeah.
at the deadline, like a guy who's like a serviceable pro who can give you like a couple good games in the playoffs. I don't see them like selling the farm.
They only played him like 10 snaps a game, but every single time he came in, he was like full on blitzing and he was so fucking hard to stop.
Yeah, dude. You ever seen that guy's workouts?
Oh, it's insane. I
It's
think
like
for a while he
nuts.
was training I can't remember if it was for Mr. Olympia or for strongman competitions. But like this is like post NFL life. So like normally people like, chill, lose all their like excess body
Yeah.
fat that they've developed or they kind of like slim down a little bit. And he's like, fuck it, let me take it up a notch because that was
Dude,
fucking nuts.
I remember like he used to like hang from like at gyms they have like the machines and you can like hang from them like do pull-ups and you have like so much weight on his waist still like hanging. And then he used to
Mhm.
do volleyball with medicine balls, not the little ones. I mean like the big ass ones
Yep.
and throw them over. I'm like, dude, this is crazy town.
Yeah, he's fucking nuts.
All right, another great one. Falcons, Panthers, Falcons 38-20. I don't think there's any surprises. The only thing I was gonna say about the Panthers was I think they got a running back, man. This Hubbard guy,
Yeah,
18
Chuba
carries,
Hubbard.
92 yards, 5.1. I mean, yeah, he seems to be a pretty solid back.
I think I'm gonna go back on something I was saying kind of towards the beginning of the season. I think I was wrong against the Falcons. I think that team is actually good. I'm really loving their 1-2 punch at running back too. Another team that's got two backs that are both capable. Bijan Robinson is the more capable back of the two, obviously, but Taylor Algier, man, he's really good.
Who is Algier? Like this guy came out of nowhere. Like,
He's been there for a couple seasons now. Um, I think that his obviously when you draft Bijan Robinson, you're going to play him more. But they're kind of working that in with this, new regime and new takeover of having a 1-2 punch rather than just like one running back nonstop.
well, they got the thing that the Lions got now, if that's the case.
Yeah.
The
And I mean,
double
maybe
running back.
it just took them a little bit of while like to develop, but those two together, man, they're strong and they're both kind of like they kind of counter each other. Bijan's way shiftier. Algier's just gonna run fucking through somebody.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to check him to see, make sure he's like, if he's available on fantasy, I'm gonna pick him up. All right, next game, Bengals Giants tonight. Let's see, it's -4.5 for the Bengals. What are you thinking?
I've got a parlay live right now, and this is the last leg. This and then I have over 8 in the Dodgers and Mets game, but I've got Bengals winning, just straight money line, and I took the over. What was the over 45 and a half?
Over's 45.5. Yep.
Yeah, I took Bengals and over 45 and a half this game. So
Giants have been scoring touchdowns, man.
yeah, I
Like,
know. What's gonna hurt them is Malik Neighbors is out. If is he's out still, right?
yeah, I think let me double check, but they scored points last week without him.
Yeah, but he's inactive.
Yeah, they
He
scored
is so
29 last
fucking
week
good.
without him.
He
Yeah, I know.
is so
Once again,
good.
that's why you don't pay Adams because there's like three of these guys that come out every year. Ohio State and
Yeah.
LSU, Alabama, pick one of those
I was
schools.
gonna say just go to any SEC school besides like Vanderbilt.
Yeah, exactly. All right, yeah, I'll take the Bengals 4.5, but I think I'm gonna root for the Giants. Like sometimes for some reason I root for the Giants. I don't know why it's just like I liked Eli a lot but
I don't like Bengals fans for some reason. I feel like every Bengals fan looks like Zach Taylor, their head coach, and they all drink Mountain Dew like religiously. And the thought of it just like it hurts my stomach. So
yeah, that's I always think it's ridiculous that like their owner like doesn't give a shit.
I don't dude,
So
I'd be
like
the most passionate owner like if I whatever fucking team I had. I don't give a shit if I own like a women's Olympic curling team. Like I would be the most passionate owner you've ever fucking met
bruh.
about women's Olympic curling.
Like they won't even pay Jamar Chase or yeah,
Yeah.
and then like they won't even like I think they just got an indoor practice facility.
Oh yeah, they have to walk like a quarter mile or something to get like from the locker to the practice facility, which is crazy.
I mean, it's
Like
nuts. Like
walking like fucking pilgrims out here. It's
dude,
nuts.
my high school setup was better. Literally, Carmel High
Oh
School.
shit.
Dude, I'm not kidding you. Carmel High School just built an indoor facility.
Oh, did they?
They have an indoor facility now. It's not just for football, it's also for like the band and like lacrosse and soccer and all those things, but they got an indoor thing. Zionsville's actually got a pretty nice stadium these days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last time I was in India, I drove by Zionsville and just saw like kind of the expansion that was going on around it. Obviously, I didn't like go inside or anything,
Yeah.
just like a quick little drive by, but way bigger than I went there.
Yeah.
Way bigger.
Actually, sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes when they call it their like middle school or the elementary, I'm like grow up a little bit, but
Or when they're like Hard Knocks University.
yeah, it's like
I think of that Key and Peele skit.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know that's a great one, dude. That is straight up great.
That is hilarious.
There's a lot of good skits those guys did. All right, next game, Monday Nighter. We got Bills versus the Jets. How do the Jets respond? Honestly, I would take the Jets. Anytime they fire their head coach, like
Yeah,
pick that
Arn.
team.
That's kind of the reason I stayed away from this game.
It's only 1.5. It's
We
only -1. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I'll probably like look at some props and do something like really low risk, but I did not want to pick a winner in this game. Number one, these two teams, whenever they face each other, it's usually pretty fucking close. Interdivisional game, same state too, so that doesn't help. If you remember last year opening day, I was like, oh, the Bills are gonna blow this team out of the water, and then they lose Rodgers, and I was like, oh, now the Bills are really gonna fucking win, and they somehow found a way to lose that game. Walk off kick return in overtime. But yeah, I didn't want to pick a winner in this game. If I had to pick a lean, obviously I'm going to pick the Bills just because I think they're the better team. I've got more faith in Josh Allen to get the job done than I do Aaron Rodgers right now. But
Like
like you said, when teams fire their head coach, that next week is so unpredictable.
they usually play hard. There's a video now of Nick Sirianni, the Eagles coach, like yelling at the fans again.
Yeah, I saw that pop up earlier. I was going to
Like
watch that.
what? Like I don't like, dude. Like you're a head football coach of a national football team.
That he's got a Nick Sirianni has little man syndrome.
Like
That's
what?
when he beat Indy, like the
Yeah,
week after they fired Frank Reich or whatever, he's like, I did that for Frank Reich. I love Frank Reich. Like,
Frank,
okay, cool, you love him. That dude was going straight downhill and driving us into a dumpster fire. Like,
dude. If
cool,
you love him
you
so
love
much,
Frank Reich so much.
go hire him.
Yeah, exactly. Give him a fucking job.
Yeah, give him a job. You love him so much. Yeah, that was a joke, dude. Yeah, I like the Eagles. I really don't like him, quite frankly, but I like a lot of like I like Hurts.
Hmm.
You know, but all right, well, good week. I think we learned a few things about a few teams.
Yeah, who you taking in the baseball championship games?
Let me look at that again. I mean, oh, I'm gonna be rooting for honestly, dude, I gotta root for the Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just because of are their payrolls close? I bet they are. I know the Mets had a crazy payroll like last year, the year
So
before.
there should be a giant fucking asterisk in this. Mets have the highest right now, and then it's Yankees. Dodgers,
Payroll wise? Are you sure? That's crazy.
yes. Dodgers are seventh, but that's because they gave Shohei Ohtani 700 million on fucking deferred money. So right, he's only like a $2 million. Oh, Burrow just scored. He's only a $2 million like hit on the books because it's like a two million per year for the next like 30 years or some shit like that. They did the same thing with Teoscar Hernandez. Uh, the
Dude.
Dodgers have the fucking highest payroll in the league. You can't convince me otherwise.
All right, so this is actually what this stat track website says. New York Mets 317 million. 309 New York, Houston 255, Philly 247, and then Dodgers 241.
Hmm.
So
I think
what's Cleveland? Uh what
they're
a
like they're low.
23rd,
Yeah.
23rd.
I mean, you got to think, Joe. Yeah, their best player. It's like a huge like pay cut just to stay in Cleveland. So, and they got a lot of people on like junior deals too.
Yeah, so and then dude, honestly, I would root for the Guardians, but you're a Yankees fan, so now I'm rooting for the Yankees.
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I can't come on here, but like normally like the Cubs beat Cubs beat the Indians. So now I think it'd be kind of cool for like the Indians to get theirs because like we got ours.
Yeah,
But I mean, you're a Yankees fan. through and through, like legit through and through. So I'll root
I'm
for the
I'm
Yankees.
really pulling for the Yankees to win this. If it's not the Yankees, I hope to fucking God it's the Guardians because I cannot stand to see
Yeah.
the Dodgers win. Have you seen their home run celebration that they're doing?
I just don't like, dude, like I don't I yeah, give me the Mets. The Dodgers with like the payroll and bringing all these people over and making a super team. I know all the other teams have done this too, except for the Guardians in the playoffs for this last four, like we just talked about. But yeah, dude,
Yeah,
Hollywood Dodgers, I'm not about it. And what do I love? Cold, miserable baseball. And you don't get that in LA.
you're not gonna get that in LA. You're gonna fucking get it in New York though. If it's a Subway Series, it's gonna be crazy.
Dude, if it's a Subway series, like
Subway Series will go to 7 games.
what's better for baseball? We always talk about this, especially golf. Like, what's that was good for golf. It was good for the game. Yankees, Mets, or Yankees, Dodgers. What's better for baseball?
I'm personally, I'll probably think Yankees Dodgers. They're two of the most like universally, at least like known teams throughout the world. Like strictly on a US like US base though, probably Yankees and Mets.
Dude, if it's Yankees and Mets, like I'm probably more likely to tune in just because that's crazy. Has
Yeah,
that
I
ever
mean,
happened before?
all the times I've been overseas, it's you'll see Yankees gear and Dodgers gear, everywhere, but you never see some like you never see fucking Guardians hats in like random
Yeah,
stores in Greece. Like I don't think I ever, not a single time did I see like any Colts memorabilia to buy when I was,
no. That's why
shopping
you got
countries
so
in
many
the
people
boots.
texting you because you're like the only Colts fan that
Oh,
people know.
they're always like, oh, what the fuck is that horseshoe on your hat? It looks stupid. And I'm like, oh, it's just my favorite team that I've, live by. Their win or loss status just determines my mood for, 5 months. No big deal.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, 0-0, bottom of the first, Mets and Dodgers, and then tomorrow night, both teams play. Mets Dodgers 408, and then Guardians Yankees 7:38.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Yankees
def
get a tough matchup on the mound for game one. Rodon is so hit or miss. Last game he came out, he looked absolutely fucking locked out. I think he went to like the fourth inning and just fell apart. It was kind of weird to see. But if he's on, that dude is locked in for the most part.
yeah,
He
I don't even know if
need
I'll
a big
watch.
showing.
I'm still butthurt about the Cubs, but I'll definitely be watching the Guardians Yankees. That's exciting because you get
Yep.
the big dog, the biggest empire, the Yankees, and then you get the small kid on the trying to make it the Guardians. So it's just good storytelling.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it's not their fault or anything, but if the Yankees make it to the World Series, I feel like this will be their easiest path to the World Series that they've ever had. Um, the Guardians are, don't get me wrong, it's a good team. They finished the season. I think they were like, I think they held the first seed in projected standings for like a good portion of the last quarter of the season. Obviously, the Yankees finished on top, but they're not anywhere near talent wise, and they don't give us the same struggle that uh Orioles did, for instance. The Orioles fucking like they own the Yankees all year. It was kind of tough to see, but then when they went and dropped that goose egg and wild card round, I was like, huh, enjoy that.
I gotta go on a quick little rant here. So I was in Chicago this weekend, and of course, like no one's wearing Cubs gear, and it's just like fall, and everyone's wearing like sweatshirts and fall gear.
Yep.
Like the idea that sports don't matter, sports matter by a mile. If
Oh
the
yeah.
Cubs were in the playoffs, like they were playing today or tomorrow, the whole city would have been in Cubs gear, rocking and rolling, and it just changes like your life when your team is winning, and it makes life more fun. It makes your community more active,
No, without a
and
doubt.
it's
That's a
just beautiful.
diehard city too. So,
Yeah, I know. At least they got the Bears though.
and they get to see the White Sox have the worst season of all time. So,
Right, I know. Yeah, and they got this Bedard guy, hockey player.
oh yeah.
He's already off and rolling on the season with a couple goals. So, all right, man. Well, thanks for joining.
Yeah, brother, we'll do this again later this week.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.